Today we are making a homemade smash burger. We'll talk about the ingredients and how to properly cook a burger. We'll also give you a recipe for a fake Shack sauce, the closest sauce you're going to get to the real Shake Shack. Let's get started. Before making our burger, we need to talk to a butcher. And where I like to go is Sod's Wholesale Meats in Eastern Market, Detroit, Michigan. Walking into an establishment like this may seem a little overwhelming because it's pretty busy, especially on Saturday mornings. You could see from the crowd. What I like to do is go up to the butchers, just find the guys in the white coats behind the counter and talk to them.
So I'm here with Hamoudi Saad at Saad Wholesale, downtown Eastern Market, and we're here to do a burger. So what do you recommend as far as a grind with a burger?
So when it comes to burgers, you gotta have a little fat in there. At least 80-20 is what I recommend, because you don't want your burger to dry up, you want it juicy, and you want that bite and flavor in your mouth.
You're gonna show us how we do that right now?
Absolutely.
All right. So awesome. What if we were doing like a custom grind or a custom burger and we wanted to elevate the flavor a little bit? What would you recommend then?
Well, what's good about here is I've got every cut. I do gourmet burgers for some of your top restaurants. They take a brisket, a prime brisket, an Angus chuck, a New York strip, and they grind it up and they make some of the best burgers in town, and you can't even tell which ones they are.
And of course, everything's fresh, never frozen.
Everything is always fresh, never frozen.
Awesome. Let's go grind some meat.
Let's do it.
I decided to keep things simple based upon availability for everyone watching this video. So I just had the butcher go with straight chuck, no custom blends here. A good butcher knows to twice grind your beef. This makes for a very tender patty. The first thing I like to do is make the sauce. This is what I call the fake Shack sauce. It's the closest thing you're going to get to a Shake Shack sauce, and it's all done in a blender. Let's get started. First, we start with a half a cup of Hellmann's real mayonnaise into the blender. 1 tablespoon of Heinz ketchup. Try not to get it on the side of the blender like I did. 1 tablespoon of yellow mustard. I like to use French's. 4 kosher pickle chips. 1/4 teaspoon garlic powder. 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. Last but not least, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. Be sure to securely place the lid on your blender and start blending on low and blend until well incorporated. Be sure to stop and give the walls of the blender a good scraping. Continue blending until everything comes together into a smooth sauce. Pour into a bowl so that you can make extra dishes for your wife to clean. Cover with some saran wrap and then refrigerate till ready to use. Now let's talk about toppings. You want to use a fresh, well-ripened red tomato. Make sure it's as fresh as you can get. What you want to do is cut the first slice, like so, and because it's the end cap, just take it and toss it aside. We're not going to use it. Then try to get slices that are as thin as possible, and you want the slices to be about the size of what your bun is going to be. Gotta make sure I wipe the spot where I threw that tomato or she'll kill me. I like to use a sweet onion. Again, just like with the tomato, you want everything to be uniform, so you take that first slice, toss it aside. She didn't see that one. Then continue slicing as thin as you possibly can. Make sure that the slices are roughly the size of what your bun is. After slicing, what you want to do is take the rings apart. I like to take them apart and set them aside so that I can assemble my burgers later. Let's talk about buns for a minute. Let me get this bag open. Stupid tags. I don't know why they put these damn things on here. Can't they just use the wires like everybody else? Anyway, the ideal bun to use here would be a Martin's potato roll. But since they're not available in the Midwest, I'm using a Pepperidge Farm sesame seed bun, just like the emoji. And you want to make sure that your lettuce is about the same size as the bun. That's what I'm doing here. Then I'm going to put them aside. I like to form my patties into a ball for making smash burgers, but I don't like to compact them too much. I'm looking for 4 ounces of meat here. That was 4.9, so I'm going to take a little bit out, a little bit more, 4 ounces. That's perfect. Now I'm going to take this and form it into a ball gently, as gentle as possible. You don't want to make this a tight ball. So I'm doing 2 double burgers. That's why there's 2 for each burger here. I'm doing 3 burgers total, but 2 of the burgers are gonna have double patties, and one of them is just gonna have a single patty. Because Kathy can't hang with us.
Why is mine only 40? You can make it a little heavier.
You want a 6 ounce?
Sure.
We'll do a 6 ounce patty for you. Add 2 more ounces. Again, you want to lightly pack these. You don't want to overdo it. You want to keep it as tender as possible. And I'm not really smushing here. I'm just going really nice and easy. There it is. So to control the contamination, I put plastic over my wood thing. I'm going to put my burger balls for now. That's the 6 ounce. These are the 4 ounce patties. And I'm going to salt and pepper them on here. I like to use Diamond Crystal kosher salt. It has a great flavor with no iodine in it. Plus, it has less sodium by weight than regular kosher salt. So you can be liberal with it and your food won't come out as salty. And you always want to use fresh ground pepper. There's nothing like it in the world. I like to grind mine into here, and then I can have more control putting it over my food that way. I'm gonna start first by liberally putting salt on here. And now for the pepper. Same thing. I even like to take them and roll them around in the salt and pepper. They're good to go. So for smashing the burgers, you need a flat spatula. So when you smash, it goes flat. But because there's holes in this, I'm going to use some aluminum foil. And we have a nice flat surface. The ideal temperature to cook a burger is 400 degrees. So we're going to preheat our griddle to 400 degrees. What I like to do first is toast my buns, but instead of butter, I like to use mayonnaise. You just put a thin layer on there, and we'll get those going. So I'm just looking for a little bit of color on these, just like that. Just about perfect. We don't want to put too much color on them. Brown in nicely. Keep an eye on them because they go pretty quick. Perfect. So now we're going to use brute strength. I'm going to press down and kind of out. This is what, believe it or not, what In-N-Out Burger does. Very lightly spreading the mustard on here. The last thing you want to do is press on this anymore. You only press the one time, and that's it. At this point, you just want to leave it alone. Don't touch it, don't try to move it, don't do anything. Just let it cook. Because right now, it's making a delicious crust on the bottom. That's what you're looking for, that crust. You want to sauce both sides. Liberally. One of the biggest mistakes in burger making is not allowing the patty to rest after cooking. This way it won't bleed into your bun. After at least a minute's rest, I start to build my burgers. I like to start the assembly with pickles. Then I move on to tomato, and of course, some raw onion. Top it all off with some fresh, crinkly lettuce. Top the burger off with a liberally sauced bun, and you are done. I like to serve my burger with crinkly fries, just like Shake Shack. And of course, I put extra sauces and pickles on the side, just in case you want a little bit more.